What's up, you guys? Carolina Shore Fishing here, and today I'm hopefully going to convince you guys to stop buying these pre-tied rigs and using them and move into tying your own rigs, because check out all the metal on here. Listen to all the noise this makes. It's not a natural presentation like you get with the rigs that you tie yourself. So hopefully you guys will be convinced here to tying your own rigs and start catching a lot more fish. And part of why I hate these is these little clips here, usually so hard to unclip, and then you've got, you know, a pretty decent sized hook for the surf. The eye is a little too small to fit in there, and it just doesn't have a good presentation. So I'll show you guys how I tie my bottom rigs and a few of the tips that'll help you guys get better hookups.
I got him. Oh yeah. Oh, good fish. Oh yeah. Oh, that's a good fish, guys. Oh yeah. Oh, I just saw it in the surf there. Oh, good fish, guys. Good fish. Oh yeah. And he's just chilling in that little hole right there. Oh yeah. Good fish.
Okay, we'll start it off here with the paracord. That way it's easier for you guys to follow along. And we'll go down to the end of our line here, doubling it over. Sorry, that's Lucky in the background there walking all around. And with the paracord, I've got to go a lot longer since it's way thicker. And we'll tie a dropper loop down here at the bottom. I usually go in 3 times with my fishing line, so see if we can do that here. And just kind of pull that tight. Just like that. So this is your loop here on the end for attaching your sinker. And we'll go up a little bit here. I like to have one on the bottom near the sand. So we'll tie this one right here. Double over our line again. So for perspective, there's the sinker and here's the end right here. And we'll begin tying another dropper loop here. We go 1, 2. We'll see if we can get a third one. Sneak it in. Okay, so there's our dropper loop right there. So a lot of people will leave it at that stage and just tie on another one and then tie that onto their line, and there's your bottom rig. But what we've started doing this year that we got from a Hey Skipper video is doing this T-knot. So you'll take the line, so here's the sinker end, and here is the end that is closest to our line on our reel. So we're gonna take this line and loop it around just like that, and we'll begin twisting like such, like you see. We're causing these loops on this outer ends, all while holding open this loop. So I'll do that about 4 to 6 times with normal fishing line, but it's kind of hard to do here with the paracord. And we'll take that loop that we've already tied and stick it through this loop here, pulling over our loop. And that's about as far as you want to pull. That way, as you start pulling tight, everything is near to this knot here. So I'm not gonna pull this all the way tight so it's easy for me to get out here. But that is it. T-knot right here helps to keep this loop sticking out. That way your hook is sticking out nicely away from the sinker. It's not gonna wrap around at all, and it'll present it nicely so that you can get really good hook sets here. So you can tie as many of these as you want onto there. I usually just do 2 to 3, and sometimes even just 1. So let's go ahead and tie it with the fluorocarbon and see how we do it there. Okay, got our fluorocarbon here. Apologize, it's not gonna be that easy to see, but that's why we started with the paracord. So this is my full arm span length of line here. And we begin by doubling over the end again, just like you see here. And we'll begin by tying our dropper loop at the bottom. So with the fluorocarbon, we're able to go in as many times as we want, really. I just do 3, it seems to work enough. Get it a little moist there, and cinch it tight. So, let me try to get that to zoom in on it. Perfect. So there's what our dropper loop looks like where we attach our sinker. And we'll just clip this tag end right here. Okay, and like I was saying when tying the paracord, I like to have one near the bottom, maybe just a few inches up from the sinker. And the secret here is you don't want to have a long line here. Only about a few, like 2 to 3 inches. That way the thickness of the line pushes that hook away and it doesn't try to sit down like you see it doing right now. So let's go ahead and tie our dropper loop. So we'll go in 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I'm not gonna moisten this one, but check out how long the loop is right here. It's not that long. And that's how we want it. So that loop, once we tie our little T-knot, is gonna stick out from our line just perfectly. So let's go ahead and do the same thing that we did to do the T-knot. Here's the sinker end right here. Here is the dropper loop that we've just tied. So holding on here with my left hand to the line closest to the sinker end, and here is the line closest to our reel. We will double it over, or loop it over like that, and begin making twists here, holding this loop in the middle open. And we'll do about 4 to 6 twists here. And this is the trickiest part here. So pull that loop through. Once you pull that loop over this knot that you've got tied, just let it sit like that and then start pulling tight. And then start pulling tight. You obviously want to wet all this down, but we're just doing it for demonstration purposes here. So check out how that's cinched down there, and you can see how that knot is pushing out that loop that we tied. So I believe that'll have a much higher rate of hookup for you. It has for me. One last thing that we've been doing, so sometimes you'll have trouble trying to slide this thick line over your hook here. You see how small that eye is? So what I'll do is I'll kind of grasp this to that point there, and I'll just bite down with my 2 front teeth on that edge right there and cinch it into a little point. So I'll go ahead and do that and show you guys what I mean. So you can see I bit it down and now it's a cleaner point. So that hook was actually a little too small here, but you guys get the idea. You can see how that end has been tightened up here. Yeah, so you'll just go ahead and tie your second loop. I like to go up enough that they will not interfere with each other. So I went up about 8 inches there. We'll go in 4 times, 4 to 6, pull it tight here. You see, we don't make a long loop. That way it doesn't just droop down. And then we'll do the T-knot, and I'll show you guys that one last time here for good measure. So we loop over and we begin making these twists here, keeping these points right here and right here cinched down. So you gotta make sure you keep that inner loop open, that way it's symmetric on both sides. And go about 4 times there. And pass our knot through the loop, keeping everything tight and around that knot. Alrighty, that's what that loop looks like with the T-knot there. And you can see with the tension on here, it is just pushing off of our line here. Exactly what we want for our hooks. That way they're presenting our bait just nicely and we are able to pull that hook tight. So on the end here, you can either tie another loop and attach using like a swivel or using like a clip, or you can tie a barrel swivel onto the end, which is what I usually do, and tie that to your main line. So let me give you guys a look. Our rig here, side by side with this rig, and you guys be the judge. Your fish swimming by. Which one are you gonna go for? The one that's virtually invisible? Fluorocarbon refracts light at nearly the same angle as water does. So underwater, fluorocarbon is virtually invisible. Depends on the clarity of your water and what's dissolved in it and whatnot. But for the most part, fluorocarbon seems to do the trick for me. And you can see the little differences here. Fluorocarbon just disappears there. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Make sure to leave us a like, subscribe, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace.